such a wonderful surprise the other day. Rosemary lives in Kamloops, our daughter, and she had to come over here because in Kamloops you have trouble getting doctors, and so she still comes here to see a doctor. And she came for a surprise visit, and she came with flowers for me, and it wasn't my birthday, it wasn't Christmas yet. I'm so surprised. She said, but you know you wanted one, Ma. I did, and in our stores I have never ever seen dendrobiums like this or any other kind. And these smell like a beautiful corsage that maybe you got when you were graduating. I don't know if they still do it, but we got these wrist things with a corsage on. It smells beautiful. So, and this is two-spiked orchid with lots of buds still to open. The leaves look healthy, and what I see from the roots, they look pretty healthy. Hi, honey. What were we doing this morning?
I'm just passing through.
He's just passing through.
What were we doing?
Yeah.
Rebuilding a roof. I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell them what we were doing.
Yeah, we were outside all morning. That's why I'm doing this video at 25 after 2. We were out all morning because we had nothing but slush falling out of the sky. Earlier in the afternoon, it looked like white snow, and it started to stay on the ground. But later in the evening after supper, it turned to slush. It slushed all night, and the part I did on the cage was kind of falling in, and buckets of snow, and oh dear, what a mess. So we went and rebuilt the part that stopped stuff from blowing in there. We went and did that this morning. Came in for a late lunch, and so now I wanted to do this. So, yes. So we are going to repot them, and I have this glass vase that the catasetum was in. And remember, I told you on one of the last videos, I got so tired of trying to make that catasetum do something, and it turned all soggy, and I guess I watered it too much because it says they need lots of water, but I said that's it because it was too big, too not like how I treat all my orchids, and so I said no, but it left me with the vase it was in. And I had left a water well in the bottom for the catasetum, so Jack drilled one more hole in the bottom, and he even was going to put one in the very bottom, but it started to make him nervous because he got quite way in and pieces of glass were coming off. So we went with just that. It's perfect. It was sitting here just like somebody knew there was an orchid coming for it. And then the other day we were at the thrift store, and I saw this. Now outside there's things that's damaged or some parts are missing, and they really aren't expensive. And I got this for under $1, and I thought, well, it might be nice for one of these glass vases. And it is. So 3 days ago, I started soaking some bark. I'd better get a slotted spoon. And this bucket is, I hope I have enough bark, but I will be, I will be using some wine corks. So I got my bark in here because it's supposed to be medium, but I find it always it's a small medium. It's like when you put a top on, it says medium, and you put it on, no, this is a small medium. Well, that's what it's like, but I continue to use it, and I've been doing really good, just putting, so we have some air spaces, and it's not, because the smaller the bark, the less air space. And then every time you water, no air is drying it, and then you could lose some roots. So I do have a bunch of corks here to put in. I got more other places if I don't have enough. Now, I'm hoping I have enough to also do the dendrobium, but we will see. And we will see what it looks like. So, what's the weather like your way? You know, we had nothing but rain. Jack was going to go out with a blower that sucks all the leaves up, or it's a big blower vacuum thing, and they never got dry. It looks like a spring job now. There's bits of white on the roofs and I can see the grass, but anyway, we didn't do that. So we're going to do this. We're going to see how it looks. The leaves all look fine. And the tag says Oriental Orchids, Burnaby, BC. I grew up in Burnaby. We used to always walk miles to go to the show, or they had a no drinking discotheque. Oh, two other girls and I, we used to walk, a couple hours to get there and then a couple hours home, but it was fun. So, yeah, I know Burnaby. My brother still lives near that area. So, I usually always leave the stakes on while I'm handling it and hopefully put them right back in the vase we're going to use. And I have not watered this since I got it, but I'm just going to put a little bit of water in there for a minute. So it's in moss and I am changing it to bark, and I may leave a few tiny pieces of moss in there, but not much, just something so that there's no change. One flower right here fell off at arrival time here because we were all over the place having a fit and looking at the orchids, and the box fell over and one little flower fell off, so I saved it. And I noticed there's one little bud here blasting, one of the small ones. The rest look fine. So let's have a look inside so that I'm through in time for dinner. Okay, are we gonna? No, we're not gonna do that easy, are we? There. Okay, let me stand up. There we go. Oh, do you know what's in the bottom? These styrofoam peanuts. That's what I do with my, I don't use styrofoam peanuts, but that's what I do with my corks. I like to put them in the bottom. So we'll just put that back in the pot. And of course I just wet the moss, but I had not watered it at all. Because me and moss, we don't get along. And almost all my orchids are in spike, getting some beautiful long spikes. And I'm having, you know, when I first started using the glass vases, I picked some that weren't doing well. But I also since had put some other ones in that were doing fairly well. And I just like the progress, and I love that I can always see what's going on in there. I've heard from a few other people so far they switched and they seem to be having good luck. Just to try one vase or so. So the first one I did has been quite a while now, 2 years. So we're going to see what we got here. Slowly pick this off. You know, I've been thinking of doing a few different videos, so if you get a surprise and there's a video and it doesn't say anything about orchids, it's your choice if you decide to. I'm going to do some different things, not necessarily the chickens, but some different things. And boy, their eggs are getting bigger. We're enjoying their eggs too. So I'm thinking of doing some different things maybe you'll be interested in. So different things I'm trying. And who knows if they work, you know. You're getting older and there's things, Mom says there's always something happening when you're getting older. And of course she's going to be 101 on December 6th, so going to be a big party, I think. Weather permitting. The roads are terrible. No one would, in their right mind, would be out there driving right now. Boy, there's a ton of moss in here. But there's not those little cups that you get in some. It's just moss. I've never had one. I've seen pictures of them. Boy, Rosemary picked a nice orchid. There is a root right here. Nope, that's moss, but there is one here. And I'm just pulling the dead part off. It's not soaking, but it's dead. We'll put it in there. And I like to leave, you know, I started off, I used a peroxide, and I used to do all the stuff I saw people doing when I was new to this. Now I don't do any of that, in case you've noticed. So, but I do believe that you get a new orchid, you should seclude it somewhere different, but I never usually do, because I have had a couple things, and there'll be a video about that. And we'll take a look at the ones that are in the TLC room. So, we're getting there. But the roots are looking good. It's just getting this moss out of here. Roots are looking good. Wow, look at the moss in there. You know what? The last one I did had, you know, you could smell it. This moss is in pretty good shape. There's a piece of a root that must have broke off. So hydrogen peroxide and alcohol is the most I will use. If I have to use something poisonous and dangerous to save an orchid, I won't do it, because I've heard scary stories. And really, it's not worth your health or anyone in your family's health to take a chance of something that's just horrible stuff in it. So I don't use anything more than that. And I used to always spray the new plants, but I haven't done that in a long time. If I saw something that I thought was looking terrible, I possibly would. I probably would. So, how are you guys doing? What's your weather like? I don't know. I'm always interested in the weather, but after having 2 years of drought and not much wet, boy, we're making up for lost time now. Now, I keep my little tweezers here, and we'll just go in a little further. I don't mind leaving some moss in there, but I don't want to leave any moss in around where the roots are near the base of the plant that's growing up, because anyway, our humidity's been better because we've had all this rain, but not in the house, because what happens this time of year, we're close to freezing all the time, and the furnace is on. So you know, one thing seems better if they were outside. Of course, in the summer they're out there. I'll show you a close-up of this when I get most of this out of here. It's very, you know, it's very fluffy and not compacted. And I have to say, it's better than some I've had from other places. You know, but there you go. Rosemary, very good at picking out orchids. So anyway, yeah, we're getting older, we have issues, and we're doing different things to make ourselves healthier, and I might be sharing some of that with you. So, how much older? Well, 77's next. Well, I'm halfway there. Almost, yeah, almost halfway there. My brother's 77. I told him when he turned 77, that's a lucky number because it's sevens, right? Okay, I'll just rinse this off, and then I want to show you, we don't want too hot of water, show you what we've got. And we'll go right in there. Some pieces can come out. There's the stem. Okay. I am impressed. I am. This is the best root system I've seen. Okay, here comes a close-up. I come around. Okay. I actually washed floors and did bathrooms yesterday. I think that was yesterday. So, here we go. I'm going to show you. There's where the stem originates. And of course that can get very long, where my older orchids, I've had to cut it off. There's one funny one right here. Yeah, this one should come off. So I usually just pull it, and then you have this. And it leaves the string. Now if you had an orchid that didn't have a lot of roots, those strings will give it some stability. And something I do like is the size of these roots here that are just starting. And another one in here. Very nice. So let's get it in the pot. Now, I have jack to drill holes, but if you do want to try holes, drilling in some of the girls done it, and I did, I think, do one video where I was doing a glass dish, but Jack does them and he's very good at it. And if you want one done, maybe you have a son, a brother, a relative, a neighbor, somebody that can do that for you. So, let's bring this over here gently. Put it here. There. There. And then, you know that stand for under $1, really? So in the bottom, I'm going to put a little bit more corks than through. And then this will go in like this, and I guess I'll sit it fairly high, and I'll put the odd cork in between. So now I put a really good heaping teaspoon of seaweed extract and calcium magnesium, Kelly Magic, in this water. I shouldn't use my hands. If you use your hands and you got seaweed extract and they look dark, and then so you have to go in your fridge and get a lemon or some lemon juice if you have bottled lemon juice. I'm trying to get this angle right. There, I'm thinking something like that. So we'll put a little more in there and a little more in there. And then for airspace, and I'm getting a couple of these corks right near the center, because that's where I definitely want some air to go. Now, the last orchid I repotted is still got the flowers on. Now, I could have cut them off, but I didn't have the heart because they're so beautiful. So, next spring their roots will grow more than they now. So, this is coming. I've almost got a little bit of stability there. And I know it's sitting a little low right now, but when I get some of this bark in, what I do, even when I was doing it in the other pots, is I pick the whole works up a bit, shake it, get it up a little higher, shake it. Okay, and we're slowly going to pull it up. Ooh, I don't want that one. Now, as I get near the top, this is probably the last corks I'll put in. As I get near the top, of course, it gets air supply from the outside. There, I want it higher. And I have definitely found that putting the seaweed extract and the Cali Magic in definitely has helped roots. Because anytime you change your medium from any source to another source, not just moss to bark, but anytime you make a serious change, I didn't put any moss in there, as you notice, the roots look pretty healthy, and we'll keep an eye on them because we can do a better job of that with the glass. And I'm pulling up a bit, getting it raised higher. It's beautiful. Okay. The dendrobium, the little dendrobium is so beautiful, and it smells wonderful. Even now, you know, sometimes you get one and they might just smell in the morning. I don't know, I used to find that with my cymbidiums, they'd smell in the morning. Now I'm going to need some of this bark for the dendrobium, which I might leave a little more moss in. So look at this, you guys. Yeah, this way some of those roots were visible in the bark. So all I have to do is keep an eye on it. It's dripping, which I want it to do, so I should put it on a saucer. I have one ready for it near the window, but just for now, I'll put it on a saucer so that it can drip. There. I found it better with some drainage because I have some still that the holes don't begin till a couple inches up. Then you just have to learn to tip. And I think if you have a small vase, you might get away with no holes in a small vase, or very few holes. Now, Jack did this vase, and he put, it's an old one, it's under $1 at the thrift store because it was outside, it was chipped, but I don't notice chips, and I didn't even find one, but there's a hole in the bottom and we got 4 holes here. So I figured that's probably just fine. So, and I thought this one would be nice with the flowers from the dendrobium. Okay, let's have a look and see how this looks. I'm very happy with this orchid, so well, I probably can't see the flowers in there, but we'll do a close-up when we're almost finished. Okay. Mom's doing fine, you know. She loved chocolate, but she was getting chocolate bars this big we'd get for her because milk chocolate. I like milk chocolate. And she likes hard caramel candies and ginger cookies. And the trouble with if you eat too much chocolate, I don't want to say a messy job on this, but anyway, it became an issue where she was having too much chocolate. I'm just going to put some water in. And I asked her doctor, I said, what do you think? And he says, well, chocolate does cause that. Now, she's eating that much chocolate every day. Well, you know, and her memory's a little slow. So he says, well, maybe, you know, you could take her off it. But just don't say anything. Just stop. And pretty soon she won't remember she had them. And she has been so much better off the chocolate. She has been every day getting better and better since no chocolate. So we are glad we made that decision. Now the dendrobium roots, I'm going to put a little bit more water on this because of course they have finer roots. I don't want to leave it compacted like it is. And so it luckily is a smaller jar, but still I will be probably having it about here so I could put a little bit of cork in the bottom. But maybe if I give it a little more water, because I didn't water this either since I had it. Because me and Moss were better off not to water. Oh, there's lots of roots. But yeah, I have to pick this out of here. Lots of roots or not. Okay, it's tight. It's tight. There. So anyway, there might be a couple videos coming soon. I'm probably behind, like a lot of people are doing this. I want to show you something I got, some new equipment I got in the kitchen, and some things going on. It ought to be interesting. So I've been gluten-free since 1996, and I've decided to go all grain-free because I'm probably a celiac. It seems to run in the family. So, you know, you think, well, gluten-free is good because there goes your gluten, but sometimes when you get that way, and you get older and things happen, you got to make changes. So I'm going to be talking about diet and what I'm doing, and, you know, I think as you know, a couple years ago, I lost like close to 50 pounds, when I quit eating all processed food, and I quit eating sugar, and I hardly ever have sugar. Now Rosemary has bees, so she brings some nice honey, so once in a while we'll have a little bit of honey, but we're not having any processed foods, none. And I'm amazed what you read. You got to read your labels. They've changed things on us, and things change. Things that never used to have garbage in them now have garbage in them. So you have to watch what they're doing. Here's one. I was brushing my teeth because we're always on about nitric oxide. Nitric oxide helps all the things in your body. Well, apparently you shouldn't use mouthwash and you shouldn't use toothpaste with fluoride. Now here we don't chlorinate our water, so we don't have chlorination, but or we do have chlorination, but we don't have fluoride. Yeah, we chlorinate, but we don't have fluoride, and so I've always used Sensitive because the dentist said to many years ago. And of course I'm brushing my teeth 2 or 3 times a day, doing my best to look after them. And then I'm seeing this about, oh my goodness, they put fluoride in your toothpaste, and of course we don't get it in our water. And then read your label. I went to read the label on my Sensitive. It says, don't swallow this or see your poison control. Oh, terrible things. And I hear I've been using it and not careful that I'm not swallowing any, but I guess it kills nitric oxide. So I switched to a natural toothpaste, and I made sure I went to the grocery store, and the lady said, here, use this one. This is natural. I get home, I didn't read the label there, I get home, it said the same darn thing. So I went online and I looked and looked. I found some natural toothpaste that, it's good. It's definitely natural. So that's what I'm using. Good grief. You know, our parents didn't grow up with this kind of stuff in everything. They want to put everything in. Our parents never grew up with that. I'm certainly never. So this is very hard to do. There's one little kikey there. I'm trying to be careful because it's so packed in here. I could shut you off for a minute while I do this and then come back, because really, I think I will just poke at this and I'll come back when I get it done. Okay. Okay, I'm back. You know, I had to take this wonderful pair of tweezers I got from a subscriber, a gift, with the rubber, and used it just like a rake to try and rake the moss out of the roots. Now it's so thick and compacted in there, I'm going to show you I did lose quite a few roots. But I don't want to leave it compacted in there and have it, you know, hold water and rot on me. So I think I've done a pretty good job, and I'm going to come and give you a close-up before we put it in a pot. Now we may lose some roots in time because I'm going to leave them all on for now. And you can see down in here, I've done my best to clean this up. There's quite a bit of hard stuff. There might be a few little more pieces, but I think I've done pretty good. So now we'll get it in a vase. They do have a lot of roots, but I do want to show you this. It was quite a bit muckier than the other roots, and there is no way this in my care would have survived, because it was just really in there, and over time that would not be a good situation. So we're going to put that there, and we're going to put a few of those in the bottom. There. Probably enough, because the rest will be bark. If I have enough bark. There. So I'm just sort of, going to twist it around a bit. Move it around. I think I got enough bark in here. Now I'm just going to use one of these. They had all these little ones staked. I'm just going to get it down, fill in the holes all the way down. Get that bark to fall down into the holes. So there's a few handfuls left in here. I'll put another handful in, and then I'll just use that stake. Try and move it in a little more. For now, this is the vase it'll be in. Okay. Let's see. I've never had one. Of course, I have some dendrobiums that have done well. I lost one in the greenhouse, so I never put them out there anymore because it was a freezing cold winter and everything froze out there. I lost my geraniums. So I'm just watching the bigger air spaces and pushing this down because they have very tiny roots. I see there's a little keiki on one of the stems. Okay, let's see if we got enough. I can always soak a little more bark for the top if I may need it. Yeah, I probably need a little bit, not much. I'm getting there. Had lots of water. Normally I'd use that on one of the plants, but not outside right now. Not this time of the year. Oh, I think I'm gonna make it. Just a few tiny little pieces, and I might put some cork on the top till I get some more ready to go. I do have some more here though. Didn't need that. Got my plug in so everything doesn't go down the drain, and then we have more trouble. Okay, now this was in, so we can stake this one. There. And then this one was in, and we can stake this one. There we go. I think we're looking pretty good. There's a few, I have a thing. This is so good on the bottom of my sink because when I have lots of flower pots in here, I'm not wrecking my sink. There, we just about got it. So beautiful. Now there's enough roots on there, and some may die. They got quite a raking through, and you'll see I did lose quite a few roots, but trying to get that out, and it had to come out, and I think it's pretty good. Now I'm going to get the camera, show you a close-up. There. And dry my hands before I do that. I'll show you a close-up of what was in here. That over there, that over there. And then I have to clean up this mess because I got to get supper going. So, okay, just get a good hold. Don't want to touch anything I shouldn't. And we're getting there. There we go. Okay, as you can see, there's quite a few roots here. Very hard not to be because of all this moss was a lot, you can see it was way more compacted. It's been in there a while, but it's not bad. I mean, this, on the other orchid, there's tons all out. So yes, they take it, but I never usually lose flowers, and maybe one or two at the most. I haven't of the last ones. And these are the beautiful flowers. And the leaves all look good. And the roots. So I will show you the last one I repotted is over here. And I don't see Bruce. I'm waiting for my MSU fertilizer I ordered, and now they say it's not coming, so I have to find some new. So this is the last one I repotted, moss to bark. So it's still good, but I've left it on because I love it so much looking at it. But there's our little bit of snow. And where we fixed the tarp out there this morning, everything's looking nice, except for the snow. Well, it just sleeted. A lot of it's melted. So thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you again soon. We have this one in a vase. It's doing so good. It has its bite coming. And we have a little flower just opened here on one I got from Rosemary on Mother's Day. Just opening. So, okay, bye for now.